Hello and welcome back to the next video. This is Rebecca Hoot, and I know it's been forever since I've created a video with you guys, and so I am documenting yesterday and Saturday, which was Mother's Day, and I just thought turn the camera on and get this filmed. So not that I've been slacking in the journaling processes and things like that. It's just I've been so busy. I guess if you follow me on Instagram and um, Facebook, then you know that I did a Wonderland event, and so I've been lost in Wonderland. So I'm back, and I hope to get back in the swing of things of getting this camera turned on. So right now, I have been so lucky. I didn't realize these were even not being produced anymore, but they are the Distressed Dabbers from Tim Holtz, and actually Mandy with Creative Pink, I'm sorry, Pink Crafty Cottage sent them to me, and she said, "Can you use these?" And I was like, "Sure." And um, so now I'm using them instead of like watercoloring the background, just to add color to the pages in my journal. I am still using a composition book, and so of course the pages are lined white pages with lines, and so I like to add some color in there to give it some different things, a different kind of where it's not just so white background. um, and so basically I'm tore some pages. This is actually beehive looking paper because we went to a bee farm, a meadery. And I'll talk more about that in just a moment. And so I really wanted to use some bee themed paper. So this actually has honeycombs on it, and then the other paper that I'll be using actually is little bees. And so I'll be using both of those on this page. So basically, yeah, so instead of kind of using the watercolor, what I like about this, not that watercolor takes forever to dry because it really doesn't, but it's just kind of, this is like immediate dry almost, it seems like. Not immediate, but within a few minutes you can write on it. And again, it adds color to those white pages. So I did trim this out. I did create an edge with the dabber as well. I used to do this quite a bit when I was in my scrapbooking world. I would edge everything when I was scrapbooking. When I would do any kind of borders, I would edge all my papers, and I really, really do like that look. So anyway, so yeah, so I was going to use the B side to this paper. It's so cute, but I think it kind of makes it flow more with the yellow. And so it's a yellow gingham, and so I'm just going to be using that for the other side. And in a moment, you'll see that I use that bee paper as just some little accent paper on my pages. And so yeah, so I went ahead and decided I would edge this as well. I do like that look. I believe the color I'm using now is a antique. There's also a honey. It's called honey something. But like I said, I heard that these are really few and far between that you can find them. They do last a long time. I've had some, gosh, I used to use these on my mixed media pages all the time, and so I really, enjoy um, the inks. And so these are pictures here that I printed out on my Canon, my little portable Canon. Um, and if you'll see, I didn't realize the glare was so bad until, because I was busy creating when I was filming, until I started looking at my pages, and you'll see I kind of start turning my book to the side in just a moment. But by the way, so just excuse the glare on those pictures. Um, but that little brown piece of paper to your left that has writing on it there, that is basically okay, so let's talk about where I went, and then I can discuss what that little brown piece of paper is. So this is called, it's in LaGrange, and it's called the LaGrange, Texas, and it's called a Rohan Meadery. Um, and a, this is basically um, it's a place that you go and they have honey and they have grapes and they have uh, it's kind of a working farm. They have chickens and they have guineas and they have goats and they have donkeys, and so they basically um, have where you can go and tour the farm and have wine tasting. They have different kinds of wine. They brew their own beer there. It's just a really relaxing place that you can go. And on the weekends, they have pizza. So on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can go and order pizza. So what we did, so basically, long story short, is my daughter has started. She worked there for the first time this weekend, and she was the keeper of the bees. No, she was the keeper of the baby goats. So the kids all want to come and pet the goats, and she basically kind of stands. I mean, watches over them, makes sure that no one gets hurt. And you know how goats are; they're very they eat anything and everything, and they want to crawl on everything and anything. So anyway, so this is where we went, and that's what I'm documenting. Long story short, so yeah, so that little brown piece of paper are the wines that we tasted. I'm personally not a big drinker of anything really, because usually if I drink something, I'm ready to go straight to bed. But this is, but we did do some tasted different wines. But what I really, really, really enjoyed was the root beer. The root beer is made with the honey. And in fact, the next day when she worked, I was like, can I have a root beer to go? Because that was delicious. And so that was really fun. And of course, I love bees. You know, my daughter makes fun of me because she says, "Oh, mom, you love everything. You love bees, you love carrots, you love all the things," which is so true. So, right now I'm just looking through my numbers here, and I actually wanted the numbers I'm using this month are my cupcakes. And they really didn't go with this page, but you know, I thought don't be all so matchy match on everything. It's okay. And so I saw this paper over here to the left, and I pulled those out as well because I thought, oh, I might be able to add that to there. So I told myself not to be very matchy match. It's okay that if I put a cupcake that is not like yellow, browns, and golds and things to go with the page. So I want to keep this whimsical and fun and not be so worried about everything matching. So anyway, so yeah, so once again, while you're out and about, and that's the other thing, it was so nice. I mean, we still wore our masks and everything, not necessarily outside because we were pretty distanced from everybody. I mean, we weren't, it's not crowded, you know. And it was just nice to get out and go somewhere and do something fun. And of course, I want to support my daughter 100% in anything and everything that she does. So that was fun. Oh yeah, I had to look for the date. I was like, what was yesterday? So, anyway, so again, I saved some little bits and pieces. Anytime you go out and do things, I always like to either get a business card or take a brochure or anything like that. So, actually, as you saw earlier, I just basically cut that B paper and made it into a little background um, for my number, and then that creates some layers in there of paper. And I'm just getting ready to make places for the pictures. I do want to use one of my Beautiful stickers because it is about bees, and I just thought that would be perfect. Um, the other thing that came with that sticker pack is little bees, and I'm actually was like, oh, that would be great if I actually had all bees in there because I could have gone crazy. And you'll see in a minute that I did have some extra bees in my sticker pages, and so I was able to use those. You'll see here in just a moment for um, for filling up all the spaces with cute little bees. So I'm just basically taking a regular Crayola crayon marker and doing my lettering, just a nice even print. And there you can see I added a little bee sticker for the eye in tasting. And then, so yeah, so I'm just going to start adding the stickers here and there. I couldn't decide where am I going to put this? How am I going to put these stickers on here? So, I mean, these, um, these pictures so that they flow nicely. Um, so yeah, so that one is the entry picture of the farm, and then that one is actually a glass of my root beer, honey root beer. Oh my gosh, that's so delicious. I just love that. And so yeah, so I'm just going to add those to there. Now I'm going to start working on the next page and kind of see. This is where that's actually a picture of my daughter with the goats. And then I actually have two pictures of her that I'm going to add on here. So this is actually a happy mail that I received. And it basically is a note card. It would be something that you would use to write a letter to somebody. So I just basically kind of added it again to create a layer in there. And it also is very naturey. Um, is that a word, naturey? It looks like nature. And so it just kind of gives it another little dimension to the pages, and it adds a little bit more, um, like you see the flowers and the birds and things. There's the glare. That's the glare that I was talking about that I had no idea what was going on when I was making this page. And so don't look over to your right at the pictures. Um, and then I'm using that sticker that says "You're the bee's knees" because I'm just really proud of Brazos. She really enjoyed it, and I love that she that she's doing something completely different, and she's having fun with it. So, and she's growing up. I know she does lots of volunteer work over the summer, but this is kind of like a actually paying job, and so this is pretty exciting for her. Um, I wanted to kind of take a note. I don't know if you can really make out that very top picture on the right side. They had the coolest artwork painted on the side of their building. It was honeycomb look, and then it had sunflowers and it had bees. It was so pretty. So I definitely wanted to take a picture of that and add that to um, to the um, to the page. You can see I added a piece of washi to the back side. That was just a trick that Journal with Dolly, she just puts any excess washi on that back, and it kind of creates a little background for that um, for your for your journal if you're using a composition book. So, and there I put my little girl. She looks so cute. My little sticker of the bee. I think that's a perfect little fit. And then I'm just actually kind of going in here and adding just more paper just to kind of uh, have workflow, I guess. I don't know if workflow is the right term to use, but just some different flow to the pages, and just kind of creates more layers in there. I love layers on my pages, and so I'm just again adding like some torn paper and adding the dauber, the paint dauber stain um, to the pages. Okay, so I'm flipping through here in my Beatrix Potter book. This is a book that I tear up. I've been tearing pages out of it for a while, so I'm not crushed or devastated or, I bought this book to be torn up, so to speak. But going to this farm, it just reminded me of Beatrix Potter because she was so big on keeping the working farms going, and the Lake District in England. And so I don't know, it just kind of like, I really like the sense of it. I love the fact that it's all just kind of natural out there, and everything is, the honey, the grapes, everything is used for something. And they had chickens running around, they had guineas running, they had goats, all the things. And it's just, goats were not running around, they were caged. But it just reminded me of Beatrix Potter, so I wanted to kind of add a little something in there, because that was the wholesome, happy feeling that I had when I went there. So I just wanted to put a little insert there of Peter Rabbit, and yeah, I think it looks sweet in there. So again, I'm just kind of filling in some of the white pages um, with more paper. I think what cracks me up, not necessarily cracks me up, but I think what I realize when I'm creating this, I could actually write and fill up all that space. I have a tendency to really like to write. I like to tell stories. I like to go into great detail about different things that are going on, feelings, etc., etc. And so I mean, although I'm filling these pages out with paper and it looks great, I could have totally used that space to write something in. So sometimes when I'm journaling and creating my pages, I need to kind of keep that in mind that I think this is when I realized there's that awful glare. Yeah, okay. So I went and got more stickers and I moved the page so you don't have that glare. But what I was saying is that I like to put lots of stickers and things in my pages, but I love to use words. So definitely need to keep that in mind when, as I create my pages, is that, you know, that um, I do like to tell the story. So, although I like to have all the things too, all the pretties. So, since we had pizza, I'm looking for the perfect pizza slice. And again, you know, I was kind of like, oh, this isn't really kind of natural looking paper. Not, oh yeah, my scratch and sniff sticker. I was showing you guys that it smells like grass, and I love adding these to my pages to give kind of a smell to when you open up the page. It really does. I have some stickers that when I open my journal up, I smell them. I just bought some from Mindy Lacefield, and I'm like, wow, these are really, you can really, really smell them. But I guess what I was saying is that pizza doesn't really go with like the natural look. You know, it has the natural birds. Here I am adding butterflies. Um, you know, I really wanted that wholesome, natural look because that's the feeling that I got when I went out to this farm. But I wanted to also not be so strict with myself and not allow myself to really use what I have. You know, it's okay if my pizza isn't natural looking and that it's dripping cheese off the page and it looks, you know, it's a different look vibe to the page. And I'm okay with that because that's what I really want to go with. I want to go with anything and everything on my pages. I don't want to have rules. So yeah, so these are just some Tim Holtz butterflies, and I added a bushel of down there in the left. You really can't see, but I did add a little patch of flowers, sunflowers there that are again very natural looking, but um, I'm okay. And then here I am adding some more little bees off my page. Like I said, when I was designing this, I realized um, I wish I had a whole bunch more bees. And then I realized yeah, see what I did? When I added that washi, I accidentally added 2 pages in there. So I thought that page was really thick, so I just kind of moved that. And then I'm just trimming the edges of those flowers off. So, so yeah, so these are great markers. They're very expensive. For my taste, for what I use it for. I used to use them a lot on my canvases, but now I just kind of use them in my journals. I could still use them on my canvases, but they're like $6 a piece, and so I'm very happy with just using Crayola crayon markers. But I'm using these up. Okay, so I turned the camera off for a bit so I could journal these pages. I ended up like started talking to the camera and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a voiceover. So but what I wanted to do was I bought some honey while I was out there, so I wanted to add the little cute tag that came on. um, it's like Folly, what's the name of it, Folly Blissful Farm. I'm talking about the pen that I used. These are the 2 pens I use for journaling, and so I wanted to talk about them as well. But going back to the tag, I wanted to add that tag as kind of you could lift it up and move it around um, when you're going to read. But going back to those pens, I use let's see what I have. That one pen that I used to do like dots around the pages and pictures and stuff like that is called Scribble Stuff, and that's from Walmart. And then the other one is just a Bic. I love these pens, but it's like a .5, and there's a certain kind that I like that makes writing very smooth and fairly easy. But I want to add washi. Jumping back from the pens to what I'm doing right now is I realize that just adding washi to that little twine, it doesn't keep it stable. So I didn't want something to happen down the line where it gets pulled out and then you don't know where to put it, or if someone's looking at your journals later on, that it comes out and you're like, well, I don't know where this came from. Oh, wow. That kind of thing. So I added a touch of glue and then I put the washi back on there. So it should stick in place, but now you have a little interaction going with the page. So I really like that. But now I'm just adding those bees. I found these bee stickers. This is actually from Hobby Lobby, and so I'm just going to kind of fill in the additional little white spaces here and there with lots and lots of little bees since it is a meadery, and we had so much fun. Oh yeah, this is where I'm showing you that I messed up on my dates, and so I added Saturday to the left and Sunday to the right. So got that cleared up, no problem. So yeah, so I'm really, really happy with this page to turn out, and I'm really, really happy that I filmed it, and I'm so glad to be back filming again, and I will try to film again this week. Cross your fingers, and I'm really enjoying it. Thanks for stopping in, and I will see you in my next video.